Hey guys, welcome back to Texas Silver. We're going to talk about silver today. My favorite thing to talk about in the world. This stuff right here. All right. And yes, I'm touching it with my bare hands. I'm sure someone's going to beat me up in the comments about it, not to be touching it with my bare hands. But you know what? I don't care. It's my silver. If I want to touch it inappropriately, I can. So get over it. So today we're going to talk about storage. There was a comment in one of JB's videos. Someone was asking about storage for silver, how to store it, or something to that effect. So I was going to go over that. So the first thing, the obvious, is vault storage. I've got some issues with vault storage, and I'll go over what those are. So whenever you store your metal in a vault, you're essentially giving it to someone else to hold for you. I believe you should be your own central bank. I think if you're a grown adult and you should be able to hold your own metal. So to have someone else holding it for you, that seems kind of crazy to me. I guess the only reason why you'd ever need it maybe is in an IRA situation where you're trying to get money out of a retirement account or something that's in the stock market, and you want to get it over to that. A lot of times they require the metal to be held by a third party, which makes sense, but I'm still not excited about it. I wouldn't do it, but if you're in that situation, you have to do it. I understand, makes sense. But I guess one of the good things about it is obviously your metal is going to be very safe from your average everyday criminal. So no one's going to break in the vault and take your metal, that's off the street. That being said, I'd be worried about the government coming in and, when all this stuff comes to a head, and the monetary system collapses, I could see the government going and trying to take your metal from the vault. So I would be concerned about that. Also, who's to say that the vault doesn't go under or bail themselves out and take your metal, and your metal isn't covered anymore. It's gone. You're not going to have access to it. So that's another con to it too. So say they don't even take your metal, but some major event happens and your vault is miles from you, hundreds of miles away, and you can't get access to your metal. That's as good as, not having it. So if you are going to do vault storage, I would recommend finding a good, reputable one that's local. That way you can, not have to drive as far if you have to go get your metals. I think when you do request your metals, there's generally a waiting period and stuff. So it's just realize that if you have your metal there, you're not going to be able to get it instant, when you need it. Another con with vault storage is obviously the fees that are associated with that. So if you're holding your own metals, obviously you don't have to pay for the storage. So you could use the fees that you would be paying for vault storage and put it towards a safe. That's my recommendation. Another thing I hear is safety deposit boxes, and I am not cool with that for a lot of reasons. I guess the pros of that is obviously it's going to be safe from someone breaking into your house and stealing it. But my concerns, the cons, I think, with the bank would be obviously you have to pay to store it there. You aren't able to access your metals 24/7, so you would have to only go when the bank is open, when they let you in there. I'd be concerned with, the bank if they do a bail-in where they, do a bank holiday and they bail themselves out with your metals. From what I understand, anything that you put into a safety deposit box, they're able to seize those assets to bail themselves out. They're not FDI insured, so what's in there? So say, there is an issue where, your stuff gets seized by the bank. How do you prove what you had in there? And there was an instance where this happened, where I think it was FBI or something. They raided a bank and went through everyone's safety deposit boxes, and I'm sure a lot of stuff was stolen, and people didn't get their stuff back. So I would just be really leery of anything with banks. I don't like banks. I use them to pay my bills. That's it. But I absolutely would not store metals in a safety deposit box. So that's some of the issues that I have with vault storage. So which brings me to your own vault storage. So if you were to have your own safe at the house, I do have safes. Obviously there's one behind me. But I'm going to go into the things, the precautions and stuff that I would recommend, having a safe and storing your metals in a safe. You have to realize that no safe is crack proof. So every safe can be can be broken into. It's just with a safe, you're buying time. So that's essentially what you're getting. So the pros of that is you have immediate access. You need your metals, boom, you walk to your safe, open it up, get your metals out, and you have it. It's, in my opinion, a safe is only going to keep your metals safe from your honest man, meaning your kids, guests that you invite to your house. Like, it'll keep them from being able to go through your drawers or whatever. And if you've got someone that just really isn't that good of a person, would steal from family or friends, it's going to keep your honest man out. Your professional criminals can get into these safes, actually, surprisingly, very quickly. So we're going to go over how I would place your safe and precautions to add more time to how long it would take to break into your safe. If you have the means to do so, from what I've heard, one of the best ways to secure a safe at your home is to actually put it into the foundation, to where all that's sticking up is the actual door, because it's almost impossible to access it, obviously from the sides, but then it's really hard to get through that door to pry it open. But also you can probably easily hide that, because you can throw a rug over it, or something to where no one's going to look for a safe in the foundation unless they're really smart. So that's another idea. Obviously I don't have the means to do that, but if you do, say you're building a house, that's something to look into, is maybe have the safe actually put into the foundation, where the only thing that's accessible is the door. Also, if you put it into a closet, maybe add another, a door that has a deadbolt. So don't just put one of these soft, cheap, regular home doors that you see in your bedrooms and stuff. Put a reinforced door that's lockable with a deadbolt, and then put your safe in that room. So that's just another way to layer and buy more time. That way your thief has to work harder to get to your stuff. So one of the things you could do is you can have a throwdown safe, and then have your other safe, somewhere else that is hidden. So this is kind of my throwdown safe behind me. It's easy access, it's in plain view. So someone that comes in is like, oh man, there's the safe. So, all this guy's stuff is in that. So it's kind of a distraction that they spend all their time working on this safe when all the real goods, are somewhere else. Another thing you can do is with your real safe, or say you can only have one safe. The best thing to do is to have a safe that can never even be found. That way you've bought unlimited time. So if you can't find the safe, then no one can take it. So there's different things you can do. Say you have a smaller safe, in a closet, you can put a box over it and, maybe label it, as Christmas ornaments or something. Just who's going to go through a box that's, Christmas ornaments, or, just put something, label it blankets. Who knows what thief's going to go, through that. So that can just be kind of hidden in plain sight. So if a thief were to go in your closet and see a box labeled blankets, they're probably not going to go ripping that thing open to, take all your blankets. I would always recommend bolting your safe to the slab, or whatever your foundation is, because what the criminals are going to do, they're probably going to dump the safe over, which makes it easier for it to be crowbarred open, but also they can use grind wheels, and we'll get into that. But if you bolt it down, that's going to keep them from being able to just snatch and grab and go with it. Because even this safe behind me weighs about 400 pounds. You have 2 or 3 guys with a dolly, this thing can be out of this house, very quickly. So you want to bolt it to the floor. That way it can't be, easily moved. Another thing you want to do is, if you have a safe like this, I would recommend not having it in a room with windows. So maybe put in a hallway closet or something like that, because if there's a window, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll tie chains around it and they'll just rip the safe out of through your window, hook it up to a truck and, get your safe out of there that way. So I would highly recommend not having it in a room that has windows or, doors that are straight access out of your house. Make sure you purchase a good safe. I actually spoke with a gentleman that JB is friends with, and he had some questions about a safe. And, he was asking, he told me a specific safe, and I hadn't heard of the brand. And I was a little concerned because it seemed like it was a lower end safe. And, he was telling me, the items he was going to be keeping in there. And I just thought that if you're going to put that kind of assets in a safe, spend a little bit more money on it. It was just crazy, so say someone's going to put, a couple $100,000 worth of stuff in a safe that costs $1,000. Does that make any sense? Get a good safe. I'm gonna recommend that, don't go cheap. You're gonna spend a little bit to get, a good safe. This one I bought about 10 years ago. I didn't really have a lot of working knowledge of safes. I didn't have a lot of money at the time to work with, so it was all I could afford, so that's what I ended up with. Now, to kind of beef up your safe, what you can do is when you put a safe in, you can build, walls around it out of center blocks or concrete, because the weakest part of these safes are actually on the sides. The door, the front end is actually the most reinforced, I guess is the word for it. So these safes you can just get a grind wheel, $50, $60 at Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever, and just cut into the side of these safes. They feel like they're really solid, but it's not. It's just thin plate metal, sheet metal. And you can probably get into one of these safes in 5 or 10 minutes. So to defeat the grind wheel, or at least buy more time, if you place the safe in, say, a closet that is limited space, it's bolted down, it's going to be a lot harder for your criminal to gain access to the sides to grind wheel into it. They're going to have to be busting out sheetrock and 2x4s, or if you even build some sort of masonry work around it, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for them to get it. So again, you're just buying time. Also, that's going to add to the fireproof rating on your safe. Now, so your fireproof rating is actually, all it is sheetrock. So it's more thicker sheetrock inside the safe. That's what gives it its fireproof rating. It's all it is sheetrock, ladies and gentlemen. So what you can do is if you put your safe in, you can just add sheetrock to the outside or masonry, and that'll help insulate it to where you get a longer fire rating, and it also is harder for them to gain access with, say, a grind wheel or the weaker parts of the safe. Another thing you can do is when you place your safe, say in a closet or wherever you decide to place it, think about which way the door pries open, because you can position the safe to where it would be harder for them to get a pry bar into, the cracks and pry that door open. So if you position it to where if they try and put a crowbar in and they're trying to pry it and they're going to end up running into a wall with that pry bar, that can help slow them down or be a deterrent and make it harder for them to gain access, by prying the front door. All right, I'm gonna go over layers of security that you can add to your residence that'll help buy you more time to deter someone to get into your safe. So what you can do is say, at your residence, I think you can get these on Amazon or online or whatever, but you can get an alarm system signs, whether you have an alarm system or not, and put them out in your yard. So someone walking by, will see, oh man, this gentleman right here has some sort of security system, and possibly move on to the next house. So you have that, or actually getting an alarm system will help. But I know they cost money. If you can't afford it, I understand, but probably 10, 15, 20 bucks will get you a sign to throw in your yard that may be a deterrent. looking into camera systems that you're able to monitor your property. There's so many advanced camera systems out there where you can monitor it from your cell phone. So that's another layer that'll buy you time. You can see what's going on in your house, around your house, so you can have that. Get you a dog. A dog's going to add you a deterrent, because most people don't want to mess with a dog. Yes, of course, a 22 could take care of that issue, but it's another layer, another problem that they're going to have to deal with. So consider having a dog. Obviously, you want to lock your house, reinforce the locks on your doors and windows and stuff like that. That'll help. But yeah, you want to make it as difficult as you can for someone to gain access to your house and then even finding your safe. One more thing that I'm going to recommend, this one actually is an electronic dial, and I would not recommend that just because of, say, EMP attack or just anything electronic is prone to go down. So I would recommend actually getting the traditional spin dial locks. I think those are, I don't know, they just seem more durable, more reliable. I would just stick away, from the electronic ones. And I know someone's gonna have the argument, well, I can get in my safe quicker or whatever. Well, you know what? My opinion, you should not have your security that you're gonna use on someone if you are in that situation in a safe. It should be hidden in a spot that you have quick, easy access to it and are able to. Because if someone's in your house, the last thing you wanna do is under stress, try and put in a code to get your firearm. Plus, your safe may be across the house or whatever. I just would not rely on these electronic locks. I would recommend the dial form. I think they're better in my opinion. All right, your final layer of security is gonna be this, guys. All right, what's coming into this world, to this country, is gonna be ugly. I can't even put it into words how bad I think this is gonna get. So take this seriously, train, increase your security, and just know that you're on your own. The police and the military are not gonna come save you. You're on your own. It's up to you to take care of yourself and your family. I hope some of that information was helpful for you, at least having to do with safe and storing your own metals if you're gonna go the route of using a safe. I would recommend being your own central bank. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Please like the video, share it, subscribe, comment below. Like I said before, if you have any other ideas or stuff that I missed with the safe, I would love to read those comments, because we all learn from them. And I think the next video we're going to go over other ways to hide your silver. So again, welcome to Texas Silver, and have a good one.